let's get started, I guess. Oh, there's a guide here? Let's go in blind. Oh, okay. I guess that was us looking out the window of the bus. And... oh yeah, because it's so much smaller, I can make sure that I'm not covering anything up. So we've got a backpack right behind me here. We've got a button that says go outside. We've got a phone over here. Oh, I guess... oh, we can play music. Texts. 12:08 a.m. AAA. It is so sunny today. It makes you happy and also make photophobic people in the streets squint as they are not used to such a weather. CCC. Are photophobic townspeople vampires or what? BBB. It's Londoners. BBB. Guys, is there a sound in the forest if no one hears it? DDD. I now have the same problem. BBB. What do you mean? DDD. 3 days ago, my boyfriend gave me an expensive necklace and earrings with blings. DDD. And I've been ill at home for 5 days already. I do not go out anywhere. I try it on and look in the mirror. You are just English Queen and there's nobody to show. So I'm thinking, are there show-offs if no one sees them? BBB XD. Why are we reading our text message? Is this just so we don't have to talk to the person next to us on the bus? Because they're staring at us. I guess this is the bus window. Oh, hang on. Look at that. There's, Greg from, oh, you can't see because he's behind my head. Hang on. There's Greg from, Night in the Woods. See back there. What else graffiti do we have? We've got, oh, hi, Mark. Reference to the room. Snake. School sucks. 2 + 2 is 5. Is that like a Big Brother reference? A 1984 reference, rather? We got 300 cents. Or $3, I guess. Okay, back to reading our texts. BBB. I bought cryptocurrency because it's cheap. CCC. Cryptocurrency is the future. Is the currency of the future. CCC. You come to the store with beep coins and you get a cart full of food. While you go to the cashier, the rate drops by half. There is not enough money. You go and put the goods back. You do, and come back to the checkout. While arranging the products, the course dropped again. You collect all the products again. Go to the checkout, Bitcoin fell again. You stand at the cash desk and wait for the rebound of the course until the evening. Before the store is closed, you are being thrown away by security. Ah ha 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 ha. Baka, cryptocurrency is not for shopping, but for saving. Well, just for that. Dude, I brought game stations and the new God of War. I've never been so happy. Damn, it's more boring than I thought. Shit. I'm trying to deal with the texting isn't that good. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Let's stop reading these texts. They're not that interesting. Okay, what else do we have here? We've got a picture of a cat. Okay, I guess that's the pictures we have on our phone. What's this? Oh, and there's the guide. The upper left corner shows your parameters: health, hunger, thirst, and fullness of the stomach. The stats decrease every time you click through dialogue. You can buy food and drinks in the store at the bus stops. Spend money neatly. Interesting choices of words. I'm wondering if this was translated from another language. Bought items are placed in your backpack. To see the content of your backpack, place the cursor on it. Click on the item to use it. When you eat and drink, your stomach is filled. Do not forget going to the toilet at the bus stops. The goal is to get to the final stop. And the most important, enjoy every second of the game. Okay, that's the guide then. Yeah, we've got health, drink, food, and pooping. Always important to have a poop meter. Okay then. What do you have to say for yourself, stranger?
Hey there. What's your name? Well, my older brother's name is the same.
I didn't even tell you my name.
He studies well at school. Mommy says that school is like a kindergarten, but for grown-ups. Mom also says that my brother studies well, and I must take him as an example. My mom's name is Mary. Mom cooks very well and takes me to the kindergarten every morning.
Oh, you're a child, are you?
What is your favorite food?
Oh, wait, are you a child? You're going to kindergarten, but... Why are you on the bus? Are you alone on the bus?
What is your favorite food? I love lasagna.
Uh-oh.
And, tiramisu. And also, like, fried potatoes. Fried potatoes mixed in with eggs. And a tomato salad. Dad teaches me how to write. When I read books, Dad buys me ice cream. Dad loves hunting. At home, we've got lots of those. Traff. What?
Those. Trophies.
I had a deer's head on the wall in my room. It was too scary, and Dad took it off. Dad hunts deers, boars, and ducks. Sometimes he takes my brother with him. My brother does not like hunting, but Dad tells him that every man must hunt. When I grow up, I will go to school and hunting with my dad. I asked my brother if he liked school. He said that he had few friends there, and he was called weird. But he tries not to care about it. He spends his free time studying in his room. He's always reading and writing something. He very often tells me about some Alec and Balan. Today he asked me to forgive him before school. Huh.
Oh, shit. Holy shit. Did he mean Eric and Dylan? What the fuck? What the fuck, game? Well, that really... What the fuck? That kind of undermines any silliness. He said to... What? To forgive him before he went to... So right now, fucking hell. I don't really feel like doing the silly voice anymore. He's done nothing wrong to me, silly. My mom and I had a meal and went for a walk. When we were walking in the park, I saw a squirrel. The squirrel was very big. It was eating nuts. And after that, someone called my mom from school, and she started crying. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. She sent me to my granny on this bus. Oh, there is an empty seat by the window. I'll better sit there. What the fuck, game? Oh, finally bus stop. Jesus Christ. We don't need to poop yet, but we could go to the shop. Okay, this is worth 2 cents. What does the medication do? I guess that fills up our health? See, what's the cheapest item here? 3 cents for an apple? Or 3 cents for a cookie? Let's get a cookie. And maybe an apple as well. Don't need to go to the toilet. Okay, back on the bus. Let's hope the next person isn't as weird. And away we go. Ahem, ahem. Sometimes I cannot fall asleep at night, and I look at the walls. There are pink walls in my room. There is a room for the former owner's daughter. It's a sad story. So, when I look at these walls for a very long time, they disappear, and outer space turns up. And then I start thinking about eternal questions. Have you ever thought of immortality? I know that it is a corny question, but still. When someone was called fat, he can lose weight. When someone was called stupid, he can become smarted. Or at least look like he is. Everything can change, but the fact that we are all going to die. The most offensive that can be said to a human being is, "You will die anyway." There is nothing to oppose. Awareness of death frightens me. You will die too. Yes, you. Do we know where we're headed? No, I'm not sure, actually. Or when we're gonna get to our stop. It says 8 stops to finish here, but I don't think that updates. Maybe we need to just keep going until we've hit 8 stops? And then their game will end? It is not something that... And it's not something that is not about us. When I'm told about global warming, deforestation, or the ozone layer, I do not really care. We're going to Ohio. Tin soldiers and Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming. For dead in Ohio. Because it is not gonna touch me. Okay, so you're that kind of boomer. That explains the mustache then. I am gonna die soon. Someone will say, your children will live in this ruined world. I sincerely love my children. I have, by the way, 3 of them. 2 sons and 1 daughter. But our children are not us. Look at them. They do not like the same music as us. They do not watch the same movies. Our children consider us stupid and backward. Well, you are stupid and backward.
They are not our continuation. There is no immortality. And they will die as well. And their children will die. And the children of their children will die too.
Yes, they most certainly will if you don't care about global warming.
If I live forever, global warming and deforestation would start to worry me. Everything that happened then would concern me. I would think about how to become famous and always bathe in the rays of glory. And not how soon I will die. Why do I have to do anything at all if sooner or later we die? Damn it! It looks like someone was sick. Right in the middle of the bus. He looks like a homeless or a beggar. By the way,
About beggars, oh boy. Can't wait to see where this goes.
people have to understand, they do not owe anyone anything. Your sins are not to be forgiven if you give money to some homeless. Consider the first option. He does not have children. Then he is a selfish person who only thought about himself all his life. Therefore, he is a disgusting person, and he does not deserve my money. Option 2. He has children. Then why is he begging on the street? Where are his loving children, relatives? What kind of person is he if his relatives turned away? If he was a good person, for sure there would be loving relatives nearby who would help him. If this does not happen, he's a disgusting person who does not deserve my money. Well, the third option is a scammer. The conclusion, I think, is obvious. Yes, there is a slight chance that this person really needs financial assistance. Oh, my stop.
Okay, so we've had the little brother of a Eric and Dylan fan. We'll call it that. And let's go outside. Oh, we really need to eat. Have an apple. Well, that's how that works. That's cool. And drink. We need more though. And we've had Boomer who doesn't believe in, doesn't care about global warming or Okay, let's grab one of these. Another one of them. One of those. And one of those. Okay, so we need more drink. And we need more food. Okay, let's grab a steak. Just throw a steak in our bag on the bus. And we'll throw that in as well. And then we will go to the toilet. What are we supposed to do here? Okay, that's easy enough. And I guess back on the bus. Let's get going again. Let's hope the next person is somewhat more pleasant. Tunnel? Oh, we're going through a tunnel. You were in high school when Columbine happened? Oh, yeah. That must have been an interesting experience. What was it like back then? I mean, the difference, you know, between now and then, night and day, I suppose. I mean, you would have had drills that were just for fire drills, basically, would have been the only things pre then. Okay, what do you two creeps want? Hello. Do you want an autograph? Don't you watch TV shows? Remember watching it on the news when it happened in history class. Oh. Oh well. Actually, we are not so famous. You know, now it's so popular to make all kinds of remakes, crazy crossovers, and it must be cheap and quick. Well, we are one of these film actors. There was an old movie, a movie version of the book. There, about a writer who couldn't write, and about his family. They moved to an isolated hotel in the mountains, and all kinds of devilry began. Oh, so you guys are supposed to be the twins from the remake of The Shining? Well, and there were another series after the movie. Not that famous and successful, but some aesthetics liked it. Oh, so you're from the mini-series of The Shining. The one that Stephen King actually approved of. Most people did not really get it. But now, producers decided to do a remake crossover. They added vampires in the original story. Wide audience coverage, the producers said. And with all this horse circus, which was created from neoclassicalism, they tried not to give us a role. Roles. Originally, there were two creepy girls, and you were not girls. And you know what? All this fashionable SJW, protection of gender equality of oppressed people, came in handy. Oh boy. They wanted to refuse us because of gender. Yes, if we had let this story in public, the series would be closed. We gave the producers a clue, and here we are. The stars of new popular flash in the pan. Is it not awesome? Okay, I guess that was that. Don't really know how to feel about that. Okay, we need more drinks. Okay, we're full up. Let's go to the toilet. I guess buy some more drinks. What's the most expensive drink? One of those, and one of these, I guess. I'm back on the bus. Next one. Oh boy. Excuse me, could you move your backpack just a little? You know, I love buses. They always come on schedule. Although, once I used to hate them. I would go by taxi. My friends even now take taxi. I refuse to split the sum with them. I hate taxi. One day, I was going home drunk with friends. We were late for the last bus. My friend managed to collapse and tear his pants. We decided to call a taxi. As it turned out, my friend had lost his phone when he fell. So I had to call a taxi using my phone, which was almost dead. Approximate waiting time is 5 minutes. During the call, the operator asked the address again. I repeated it, twice. All that time, taxi cars rushed past us. We thought that a car driving towards us is the one, but it wasn't. Not a single one of them stopped. Half an hour later, I decided to call an operator again. Specifying the order number, he called the wrong address. I corrected him again, barely restraining myself. Oh, I'm sorry, there are no free cars yet. Wait a bit, the operator said. We decided to walk around the house, to which the car was due to arrive. Finally, we saw a taxi driving up the right house. The car began to slip in the snow. My friend and I at first wanted to help, but burst out laughing, because we were very tired out, and the whole situation was insane. We did not even suppose that this was not the end of the story. We approached the driver and asked if we could sit down. He made it clear that he was not able to take us. It was 4:45 in the morning. In the middle of the dark nowhere, we came across a stall of shawarma. Shawarma? That's that fruit from the Avengers. It was beckoning us with its lights. We decided to use the services of this oasis. While my friend was ordering his food, I returned to the taxi driver. Some of your best friends went to the rival high school. They were sort of punk goth. They didn't really get bullied, but it was interesting. They looked into the details the mainstream news just brushed over. Yeah, I've certainly read up a lot about it and the resulting circus. This was our last option. I knocked on the window and saw a taxi driver chewing a ban and washing it down with coffee. What is a ban? Watching the show on his mobile phone. He again said that he was not working at that moment. After that, we walked to the bus stop, completely exhausted. The road was empty. A taxi annoyingly passed by us and stopped. We ran joyfully towards it. But apparently this man was not going to help us, and he left as soon as we approached. I burst into curses. Then, a lonely car drove along empty road and stopped right behind us. We did not notice it at first. The driver was a middle-aged man who kindly agreed to help us, just because he saw two people freezing at the bus stop. My friend and I had a cold next morning. I hate cars since then. Now I go to my friends' parties only by bus. My stop is in a couple of minutes. I'd better start packing my stuff. and get closer to the entrance. Good luck. Well, yeah, that was just a boring story. Let's go outside. Do we need anything? I guess we could eat. Constantly tortured at school? That's not what I understand. My understanding was that they were the bullies. They were largely left alone at school. It was much more of a Leopold and Loeb kind of situation. Yeah. Go to the toilet. Let's see, what do we need for food? That was the narrative spun at the time, was that they were these bullied, tortured kids who were snapping back, fighting back against the bullies but that wasn't actually the case at all. Everyone pretty much kind of left them alone, and if anything, they were the bullies, as evidenced by their eventual actions. Let's get a croissant, and 2 cans. And maybe one of these orange ones. Yeah. The idea at the time was that they were, that was the narrative that was pushed, but it wasn't true at all. That they were, getting revenge or anything like that. You still see that narrative today in, like in that recent, what was it called? Pureflix film about it. About the girl who supposedly said yes. Back on the bus. They still went with that tired cliche. It doesn't hold up to the facts of it. Oh, we're at a beachside or in a desert? Oh boy.
Hi. Hey man. Where are you from? I'm from Summer Garden. My parents moved there when I was 6. I spent my childhood there.
You heard about the horrific shit the jocks and preppy Christians kids did to them all the time? Yeah, nah, that's not true. From all the books I've read about it and stuff, consensus seems to be that they were largely loners who didn't interact that much, and when they did interact, they were pretty popular. I forget which one was which though. I think Dylan was like the younger, more sycophantic one, whereas Eric was the one who did the pushing, the one who pushed for it all. He was more of a sociopath, and Dylan just needed some guidance. If I'm getting their names right, I might have got their names backwards.
Soon after we moved, my father's car was stolen. Later, we got a call from the police, and we went to pick up the car from them. In the music player, we found a cassette of some kind of punk band.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's a very seductive narrative, and it resonates with a lot of people, but it ultimately wasn't true. And it gave a reason more than anything. It gave a reason as to why it had happened. If it was just guys getting revenge, people could understand it. People could understand being pushed to the edge and snapping. But the fact of the matter is, there was no reason. It was just because they wanted to do it. It didn't have justification. But you can see how that narrative came about when the media circus afterwards, and all these people, all these parents looking at their own children and asking, why did this happen? You can see how it's a tempting answer to reach for.
The thief left it, whoever he was. We drove home with a huge anarchy sign on the hood, painted with a paint spray and screaming music. It was one of my first music cassettes, and I listened to it a million times. We would often listen to it with my friends, drinking beer on a roof of an abandoned building while watching the sunset. Then we joked and told funny stories. School sucks, but sometimes it's nice to remember those days.
At school, I was one of the best. Not because I was so smart. I would always speak very confident and calm. Sadly, if that was all it took to push them to do it, I suppose we should expect it to happen much, much more. Yeah. And yeah, that's the other thing, is that there are plenty of kids who are bullied and do have horrific shit to them, and they don't snap like that. And there are, and we, we'll also look at the stories again, like everything that's happened afterwards and stuff. And again, you don't see that kind of bullying or outcasting, that kind of outcast behavior happen so much. You see it happen from kids who are like ordinary and like accepted amongst their peer groups, and they just do it. There isn't any clear connection. Like, if you are being bullied, you don't snap and hurt a bunch of unrelated people. You would, at most, snap and hurt the person who's doing the bullying to you. I would always speak very confident and calm. Well, the most important thing is improvisation. If I forgot something, I would often start telling something that no one could check. But it sounds quite true. I would never understand people who did not study. But they would study very hard before an exam. It is senseless, isn't it? If you studied all the time, you do not need to prepare. And if you have never studied, then now try to do it. Is useless. I remember the story of one guy from our class. He was absolutely weird. So weird that when he was at first grade, he cut teacher's coat with scissors because of a bad mark. His name was Victor. Well, he was mad. Not a single fight could do without him. He was involved in all possible and impossible problems. I do not understand why such students are not expelled, and how remain for so long at our school. He had a huge angry dog. I am bad at breeds. I cannot tell you what it was. He had a habit of stealing tennis balls after PE class for his dog. There were many of those balls, so at first no one noticed it. The school was well-to-do, and there were all kinds of balls. Skipping ropes, nets, hoops, all kind of equipment, so it was not easy to notice the loss. 6 months later, when there were no balls left, the PE teacher gave us a lecture for the whole lesson, telling us what terrible bastards and idiots we were. PE teacher was a restrained man, but in such cases he would yell at us and promise to find a thief and deal with him. The next day, all the windows of his house were broken. There was another case, also connected to Victor. We often skipped classes. It was almost impossible to walk around in the schoolyard, since teachers would notice us. We had to go outside school territory. Through the gate, it was extremely difficult to do, because there was a security guard, so we climbed over the fence. The fence was 2 meters high, and on its top there were sharp peaks. We often climbed over this fence with the help of a nearby tree. I do not know what kind of tree it was. I hate botany, but that tree was very tall. So we climbed the fence. Victor could not climb the tree, so he decided to climb over the fence. It was stupid of him. Once again, I'm convinced that he was completely out of his mind. So that's it. We successfully climbed over the fence with the help of a tree, and Victor successfully climbed over the fence. At least, we thought so at first sight. When we got to the city street, we noticed that something was dripping from his hand. As it turned out, he punched his hand through and did not even notice it. The beak has passed right through, not touching the nerve endings. And this school did not feel anything. Damn. He had a damn hole in his hand. You could put your finger into it. When he saw what happened to his hand, he just fainted and hit his head. We had to drag him to the nearest hospital. The nearest hospital was a few kilometers away. It took us a long time to get there. especially a pig like him. More and more blood was licking, and after a while, there was a bloody trail behind us. We thought that he would die of blood loss, but everything turned out fine. We carried him to the hospital. After that, we had to report to the director and parents. Since then, we would not skip school too often. But a couple of years later, Victor died of malaria. Okay, that's a random thing. Let's eat something. And drink something. And drink something more. Back in school, I understood the whole romance of these fat jokes. There, I first started to get people out of temper. You know, I'm not being mean, and I really like laughing with the victims. But most of all, I like people who try to pinch me. What? I do not want to show off, but I've become good at it. Therefore, I like to turn jokes of other people against them. For example, once there was an interesting story at the same school. That time, I played rugby, and by coincidence, there was a guy from my team in my class. One day, during a Spanish lesson, I went to the restroom. My friend, a rugby player, came after me. But before saying hello to him, I heard the door slam behind him, and I could hear our classmates laughing. They did not know that he was not alone. They did not know that I was there. He tried to get out, but they held the door. Next, we looked at each other. After that, without even thinking, we stood with him in a low bar, and we were pushing the door, and it moved. But not as we expected. There was a crunch, a squeak, and a sound of crumbling plaster. The door came out of the wall together, with the frame and hinges. We instantly realized what had to be done. In a second, we were no longer there. Our classmates stood holding the door, horrified and realizing what was going on. There is an interesting company of people at the bus stop. I think I know where I'm going. See you later. Yeah, what a story, pal. Okay. To the shop. What do we have? We have 2 drinks. Well, let's drink them. I've lost track of how many stops we've made. It's the most expensive drink here. Okay then. Oh wait, let's eat up. How much are tacos? Are only 3. Let's eat that then. Buy a hot dog and some bread. Go to the toilet. And then back on the bus. Yeah, I've lost count of how many people we've talked to so far. Oh boy, this guy looks like fun. Well, sorry man. Oh, nope. I'm not drunk. Hiccup. Maybe a little. If you continue to look at me like that, I will quickly sober up. Oh. I hate buses. This is my only option for not now. But God, how I hate them. I hate these ragged seats. I hate rush hours when people turn into pushing mass, which is just dying for the opportunity to start a scandal with me. I remember a long time ago I got in a bus that drove fans from a football match. That bus was the quintessence of my hatred to this transport. However, the most disgusting thing was the football fans. I hate football. A disgusting sport. I don't know why it is so popular these days. Its glory is absolutely undeserved. For me, it's more interesting to watch flies than a football match. Oh, how interesting it is to look at a madman who is not touched, but he lies and writhes in misery. Great actors die in them. And about false popularity. It's just a waste of resources of human civilization. Even more, this is its main mistake. All problems of humankind are connected with this disgusting phenomenon. Why do you think global warming appeared? It is all because of rap singers. What can be dumber than wearing these clothes that are 3 sizes bigger? Grimy cap, I also hate them, by the way. And the funniest thing about all this is the content. Just think about it. A rich singer who receives millions for one performance. He sings about how he is forced to do criminal stuff in the ghetto. Absurd. Just work for the target audience. Deception. Damn business creates a culture in order to be more successful and sell more. This is a new kind of advertising. Now they create consumer ideals. Convince me that I need this one. Yes. For example, the same damn cap. There is no practical value in it. I buy it because it's fashionable. And this is a lie. Just like football. After all, most of the football fans are not interested in it. They are afraid to admit that. I'm imposed culture of consumption. This is the main reason for the existence of such useless and unnecessary phenomena. Do I really need a new phone when the previous model came out just a year ago? But this is now an old thing, even if it still works well. It is horrifying that whole industries can be made for cultural reasons. You can sell anything. It is necessary only to convince that it is fashionable or elite. They can even create traditions and parasitize on them for decades. Do you know the story of diamonds on gold rings? Yes, it's a tradition to give rings with diamonds. It was also forced from outside. The advertising campaign, Diamonds Forever, said that with only the help of such a ring you can prove your love. One of the most successful deceptions in the world. Since then, it has become a tradition, almost all over the world. The most terrible thing is that even now, the company that imposed this stereotype is alive and thriving. Yes, she not only created a niche, but was for a long time the only major supplier of these precious stones. Well, perhaps I'll walk a bit. I do not like how they look at me. I hate such moments. Oh, how much longer? Okay, we need to drink. Okay, we're full up on food. Let's go to the toilet first. We need to buy more drinks. And then buy the most expensive food. Okay then, back on the bus we go. Oh, tunnel time. Now we've got cherry blossoms. Okay, what do you want? Hey, you! Yes, you! What you looking at, huh? You really have problems with your eyesight? Well, I will help you then. How lucky you are that I'm a certified occultist. Oculist? Oculist. Certified oculist. Although no one believes me, I'm a specialist in everything that regards vision problems. I always help strangers if I notice that they look at me in a strange way. Oh, what a lovely superhero costume is on this little boy. I love meeting children. Do you want so? Hey, where are you running? Okay, forget it. I'm alright. I look normal, don't I? So I came up to the conclusion that everyone who looks at me oddly has problems with eyesight. But they are so surprised when I ask about it. They start yapping that they have to give me all their money. I refuse at once. I usually answer, I do not need your money. If you will not want complications, just do not resist. And then they just run away or spray pepper spray right at me in the face. That's how weird they react to my goodwill. I just obey the Hippocratic Oath. Why are they all like that? But I still go on offering my help to people in such situations. If I at least help someone, I will not be in vain. I got it right. I still have not helped anyone. It is a little offensive that no one appreciates altruism. Okay, if I would look like a hooligan, but I look neat. There is nothing wrong with that. But as I said, I'm not going to give up anyway. Hey, guy over here. Why you keep on kicking the chair? Do you not need your feet anymore? You will definitely hurt them this way. I do not understand. Who would kick old seats on the bus? They can just simply get stuck in the gap between the chairs. Or worse, the springs can jump into their knees. What kind of fools? Hey, girl in red. Are you out of your... I'm sorry, but have to leave you. I got to explain that girl how harmful smoking is. And remember, never sit at the computer for a long time. Even if we are talking about this game. Anyway, it's quite short, so there will be no harm to your eyes. Goodbye, my friend. Right, got a bit meta there. Okay, time to go outside. Looks like we need to drink some more. We can do it with one more drink. Okay, let's buy some more drinks. Let's buy a croissant. Alright, back on the bus. Can't be much further now. Okay, what do you want? No, I've always been very fond of philosophy and weird unexpected meetings. What? I'm not small, just short. And I look young. So, what was I talking about? Ah, of course. Once I was choosing a new book for myself in a large bookstore. When I entered the philosophy section, there was no one there. This did not seem strange to me. Philosophy is not that popular. Very soon, I was hooked by a book by James Del Brilland. He was a philosopher and was about to leave. Then, a strange-looking man came to me. He was about 60 years old. He was wearing a white suit and had a silvery white beard. Not very long. Right after he appeared in the section, he approached me. Did we not have a chat? He asked. I've studied for 2 years at university and have spoken with a lot of interesting people. And still, that man seemed unfamiliar to me. I thought we could have crossed before. Maybe, I said. Then the man wanted to know whether I was fond of philosophy for a long time, what I specialized in, what kind of thesis my parents wrote, and so on. I was still in disarray, despite the fact that this man was very nice. Then he asked if I was going to continue working at the university. And I A person quite confident in the impermanence of life answered him, "It is possible." The old man laughed and replied, "Oh, at your age, it's time to know such things. Here, for example, I am sure that tomorrow morning I will come." Gross. I laughed because I thought he was right, and I like such a life-affirming attitude. "I'm ready to argue. I bet 1,000,000, he said. 1,000,000 human souls. Wait, you were talking to the devil? Then he smiled and headed for the exit from the department. I grabbed the book and rushed after him immediately, but he was neither in the next department nor at all possible turns. I wonder who it could be. Or maybe it was God. Maybe it was more likely to be God if you were talking philosophy. Okay, time to go outside. At least that was a short one. To the shop. Buy a bunch more drinks. Apple hamburger. And then back. Just eat an entire ham as a snack? Yes. Oh, now we're in autumn? Okay. Oh boy. This look, full of disgust. I know it. I also used to look at beggars with contempt. By the way, my name... however, it does not matter what my name is. You won't remember me. I'll just be a homeless person you met on the bus. Yes, I look not very good. Life of a homeless person is a disappointment until you get used to it. And it was not always so. I once had a family. Beautiful wife. 2 children. In general, everything you need for a happy life. But then, problems had come to my family, and to somehow relieve the tension, I began to drink at the bar in the evenings. It was something between a bar and a casino. A pretty lucrative idea, actually. After a few glasses, I noticed a group of men stood at the table, watching the game. They made big bets, and people quickly noticed it. When I approached, one man showed his cards. Everyone went all in, so the winner received a 6-figure sum. He showed the cards and made it clear that all the chips on the table belonged to him. I remember his proud smile. It was clear that he was enjoying it. And the devil knows what made me then go for it. Maybe it was alcohol, maybe desperation, but I decided to sit down at the table and wipe his nose. Wipe his nose? You wiped someone's nose? I was bad at poker, so at first the bets were small and I won. Every victory made me happier, and I quickly forgot about my dismissal. Seriously, I only then realized why people like me gamble so much. But free cheese only in a mousetrap. Then everything went worse. Free cheese only in a mousetrap sounds like a saying in another language that didn't quite make the translation. The losses became more frequent, the bets increased, and the irritation was accumulating as simply as the euphoria. But apart from irritation, there was a growing desire to fight off, and I kept increasing bets, using the last money I had with me. I lost and won this money back and forth. That excitement increasingly influenced me. As a result, I lost all the money. But went there the next day too. Then again and again. I did not even notice coming there every day. I was very keen on poker. I was on this needle of fortune, and it took everything from me. Firstly, I got into debt, and my wife left me, took away the children, and torn up all contacts with me. She understood the situation, and tried to help at first, but I could not control myself. Her patience just burst in the end. And I only now understand that fault was only mine. There was a big crack in my life, but I continued to play. Every single day, I spent there all the time and lost money, occasionally fighting off and leaving with some money. No matter how much I adore this excitement, I played badly because I completely burned out for a couple of months. I had to sell an apartment to somehow pay off my debts. I was banned from entering the lagoon, so for the next few months, I was drinking non-stop in a simple bar nearby. No one would want to talk to me in the end. Even my former colleagues, friends, and parents turned away. The rest of the money I simply spent on alcohol, being sorry for myself and blaming fate. I slept with homeless people, drank, begged, and again it would repeat in my life. But in the end, I decided to start a new life. After a long search, I found a job as a cashier in the city of Bustories, on the other side of the country. And here I am. I'm going to Bustories for my last money. This bus is my last hope. I am sure that it will change my life. My story should be a lesson for you. Oh, what is this? New casino? Hey, driver, stop here. Okay, thanks for listening to me. See ya. Oh, that just kind of happened. Oh, and we did it! We did it! Well, that was Bustories. Yay, we did it! Almost everything by Nikita Pashinki. Soundtrack and sound design by Tim Blinkoff. Now, I believe that, like, the people you talk to are randomized, so you'll get different people every time you play through it, but I don't know why you would bother with a second playthrough. I honestly can't say I particularly like this game. The people weren't interesting to talk to. You couldn't really interact with them. They just kind of talked at you. And yeah, pretty much the experience of playing, of talking to people on the bus. I don't know why it went full screen once the game ended, but let's go over to just chatting. Hardly a game, yes. But that brings us to 3 hours. And it is getting quite hot and I'm feeling a little nauseous, so I think we'll call it a stream there.